What's up? What's up? It's your boy Mean Joe Green, aka Prince of the Ghetto. Y'all, I'm back with another reaction video. Hit that like button on your way in, man, cause this time we got Ben Crump himself in the flesh, and he just did an interview with the Art of Dialogue. Shout out to Art of Dialogue, and he, updating on this Nolan Wells case and what's going on, and I wanted to react to it. So let's get into it.
Ben Crump, happy to have you, my man.
Thank you, sir. Pleasure to be with you.
Ah, man, it's a pleasure having you. I mean, it's so much I want to ask you. It's so much I want to get into. I know you're a busy guy, so I don't want to take up that much of your time. Nolan Wells, for the people that's unfamiliar with that case, can you break that down?
Certainly. Nolan Wells was an 18-year-old black teenager who, on 4th of July, was celebrating with his friends, and he went out on Horn Island. He went with his 3 other friends, at least what we have in the photograph, and they were young white teenagers. He was the only black teenager. And somehow they all came back home safely on the 4th of July, but Nolan Wells did not come home. His mother, their families announced that he was missing. They were, out of their mind with concern. And then his body was found washed up on shore 2 days later, face down, dead. And so then everybody started to try to say, well, what happened? When you look
That don't seem suspicious to y'all? To all the people that saying he accidentally drowned, hearing him put the words together like that, that sounds suspicious or don't? Y'all let me know in the comments.
look at the videos, there were 300, 400 people out there. And what we've been saying, somebody knows something, somebody saw something. There was a young lady named Katie who said that, she was talking to Nolan, but then he got back on the boat with the people he came with, or got back on the boat with the boys. And the boys who were on the boat with him said, Nolan said he was going to stay behind with Katie, and that he was not going to go back with them. One of the things that has been bewildering is the fact that
Now, all those stories that they pinning on each other. The girl saying that he went back with them. They saying that he left with the girl. They on an island. All together. But still, no one saw nothing. His body washed up on shore. Unalive. Hundreds of people. Nobody, and I mean nobody, saw anything. Boy, boy, boy.
if he says he's going to stay behind, why doesn't an 18-year-old get their cell phone? If they're not going to go with the boat, why would they leave it with them? His mother, called his phone 3 times, got no answer after they started getting concerned. And it was when they did the Life 360, trying to say, find my phone, is when she found out that the phone were with the friends. And so
Now, she called his phone 3 times. If his friends had the phone, why didn't they answer it and let her know, what happened? But instead, she had to do this 360 thing and to pinpoint to see where his phone was, and she found out that his friends had it. Huh?
So her friend went to get the phone, And when they got the phone back, they discovered that there were a lot of Snapchat messages that were deleted. They also found that there were some texts deleted. So that was very concerning to them as they're trying to figure out, what happened to my child. He
Not only when she get the phone back, but she discovered there's some Snapchat messages missing. They deleting things out of his phone when they had it in their possession. That don't seem suspicious to y'all? To the ones that saying he accidentally drowned?
our child is dead and we have no answers. Nobody's telling us anything. And so it became just an incredibly painful ordeal for them trying to find out what happened to Nolan Wells. And then America became engaged in this matter because it wasn't adding up to anybody. He says, I'm going to stay behind, but he leaves his cell phone. He doesn't have his car keys. Where if he stand behind and you don't have any of that information, people are saying, did he stay behind? And so that becomes a question. And, you know, obviously there's this CETO audio that comes out that people have did forensic audio engineering on it to try to see what was being said on the audio recording of the CETO kind of 911 type call. And it's in that call that people say they hear certain things. We have retained audio engineering experts to be able to decipher and to render expert opinions on the validity of the CETO 911 audio that seems to suggest things about the presence of Nolan. And
Now, they have professionals on those audios that been circling around social media. A lot of people been having different opinions on this. But by now they getting those professionals on it, and it's time to get to the bottom of this. And to all you people that's talking about it was accidental, y'all coming to conclusions, you all are racist. What if that was your child and the scenario was just like this? Your child went with friends and come back, your friends come back and they have his phone. You got so many questions and no one have no answers. But his body get washed up on shore. Everybody else went home except your child. And you trying to find out what happened. And this is what you getting. No answers. So all of y'all that saying it was accidental. So y'all will just say, okay, it was accidental and don't try to look into the truth. You all will just ride with it. They said it was accidental, so that's it. And y'all live y'all lives with no question or nothing in the back of your mind to be like, I wonder if this is really the truth. So you mean to tell me if it was y'all child and y'all was in his mother's shoe, y'all wouldn't want to know what really happened? Y'all will just accept what they said and roll on nosy on with your life. I don't think so.
so we are trying not to speculate, we're trying to investigate, but we are asking questions that don't add up to us. And that's what everybody's been doing because everybody says, how can this 18-year-old college football player who's in tip-top shape just go missing and nobody knows anything? Nobody's seen anything. And the sheriff within, hours after he was discovered, his dead body, they claimed that, that no foul play, accidental drowning is what they suggest. And his family are saying, we can't accept that when you make that conclusion without doing no investigations. And so what they want is a full, impartial, fair investigation into what happened to Nolan Wells. You know,
And I don't blame them. They want to know what actually happened to their son. Justice for Nolan. Let's be fair about this. That's why I'm so glad the world is on this case, because the world see that it's not adding up. It's suspicious. This is just mysterious, no answers. But he left with his friends, and look at this. And I can't believe people accepting from the state of Mississippi that is known for cover-ups. I mean, hey, facts are facts. But let's get into this more deeper.
in our community, we see people investigated very zealously. And so we want the same thing for our children. We want them to zealously investigate this matter just as if they would if the roles were reversed. And that's what I think has people in the minority community saying, hold on, we want to know what's on everybody's phone. We want to know social media, because all of that could become very relevant information as to what happened to Nolan Wells.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but the woman that Nolan was hanging out with when he was at the island, Katie, her sister, Gracie, came out and said that Nolan intended to go back to the mainland with his friends, right?
Yeah, there seems to be a conflict in what they're saying. They said he stayed with the young lady. The young lady said no, he got back on the boat. And so, that seems to be one of the biggest issues that everybody is trying to figure out, as well as the independent autopsy where he had red discoloration at the back of his brain that was found in the second autopsy, and also the fact that the initial state medical examiner kept possession of Nolan Wells' throat. And we don't know why they did that. Our pathologist, Dr. Roger Mitchell, said when he was the chief medical examiner for the city of Washington, D.C., that they normally would do that it wasn't uncommon if they suspected that there might be some fracture or some compressions to the throat.
So after y'all did
They don't seem suspicious. I mean, wow.
the autopsy, from what you know, what do you believe that was on the back of his neck?
We can't speculate. We know that we think Dr. Roger Mitchell should have the benefit of looking at all the autopsy notes and observations and photographs from the first autopsy, and then have, the state medical examiner be able to look at all of his notes from the second autopsy and try to work together to figure out what conclusions that they can draw from the autopsies, both of them. And then also waiting for toxicology. That becomes a factor in finding out the manner and cause of death. But Dr. Mitchell said, and this is a very, very important, he said, if it's a drowning, then that still doesn't answer the whole question of what happened to Nolan Wells, because he said then there are questions about, was Nolan Wells' condition of his body conscious or unconscious when he went into the water? Furthermore, he said, did he go into the water unforced or forced? He said all those things become factors.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yes, make a whole lot of sense. Was he conscious before he went in the water or unconscious? I mean, both of those autopsy doctors that did, the autopsy on him, why don't they work together? Why the other autopsy got to go behind the first one, and the first one keeping parts and organs and sending him the leftover remains, which make it difficult for the second autopsy because he really don't have much to work with. So the first autopsy, one done by state, they know everything. And if the other families got that doctor in their back pocket, they could come up with whatever conclusion that they want the world to see. I'm just speaking facts. So the second autopsy is difficult, and you got a lot of people, they're gonna go off with the first autopsy, say, not knowing, like I say, it's in the state of Mississippi. All of them know each other, and they've been going on like this for many, many years. But like I say, I'm glad this social media is out and the whole world is on they ass. I'm gonna end this right here. If y'all wanna look at the rest of this interview, you can go on the Art of Dialogue and catch, Ben Crump stating his facts, putting his game down on this case, because at the end, all we want is justice for no. That's it. The truth. And if it's up to the Almighty good Lord, the truth always prevail, and the truth shall set you free. It's your boy Mean Joe Green. Love. I'm up out.